Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. Well guys, we're going to do an odds and ends video this week. I had really had big intentions of working on my surface grinder this week, and let's just say that things didn't work out. I wasn't able to get out here in the shop and really get much anything done. So just a little bit of update on some things going on. You know, this last weekend, Saturday, as you guys probably know, that's my big day to come out and work in the shop. And this past Saturday was prom night for my youngest daughter. And let's just say that Daddy spent a lot of time dealing with prom stuff last weekend. Not exactly my favorite thing to do, but having the opportunity to spend time with my precious daughter is definitely on my list of important things to do. So that's what we did. I did get some work done in the shop last week. In fact, I had Miles McDonald down, who's a college student that helps me out sometimes when he's in town. And we started that morning and worked on up through the early afternoon and got some stuff done in here. And I'll show you some more things that we've worked on in the shop itself. And then this past week, man, it has been a crazy week at work. I've been home every night, but I have been on the road every day. And I've had some 12, 13-hour days this past week, leaving out at 5:30 in the morning and getting home at 6, 7 o'clock at night in some cases. So really just haven't been able to get out in the shop and work. So all that to say, no machining content this week. But I do have some viewer mail that's coming in I wanted to catch you guys up on. We're going to do a shop tour. I did get a pretty cool Craigslist score that may have an opportunity for some of you guys out there with this, because I've got way too many of something right now, some grinding wheels. So I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to find a new home for some of those. So anyway, stick with me and we'll do an odds and ends. So next, got a little package here. This came from Bob Trumbley. Bob is up in Littleton, Colorado, and he saw in recent video, I said something about, man, I wish I had an optical center punch when I was laying out something on a little piece. And he said, you know what, I've got 2 of them. He bought them somewhere or another. This one is made by PEC, Precision Engineering Corporation. Optical center punch. So if you're not familiar with one of these, I'll tell you what, let me zoom you in and kind of show you how this thing works, because it's kind of neat. So here's the unit, and it consists of a little platform or base, whatever you want to call it, and there's 2 little holes. One of these is a little optical piece. It's just a clear, it's got a little magnifying bubble on the top. But in the bottom of this, there's a little dot, and you really can't see it in the video. But what you do is you put this one into one of the holes, and you look down through this thing and you can see that dot, and you put that little dot right over the spot that you want to center punch. You then remove this piece. You actually get the center punch, which is got a ground punch on the end. You drop it down in there, holding it in place. You take a hammer, pink, you plop it in place. But using this little setup, you can really get that part centered up exactly where you want it, very precisely, and then punch it. Whereas normally with a regular center punch, you're kind of trying to lay it up on there and get it on the crosshairs or whatever. And very often, after you punch it in place, you realize you're off by just a little bit. So anyway, this is a really nice piece, something I didn't have. And like I said, he said he had 2 of them, and he shared one with me, so I greatly appreciate that. That is something that will definitely come out handy with doing layout work. So next item here on viewer mail, we have some stuff sent in, and this was sent in by a gentleman, and he didn't want me to use his last name, so I'm just going to refer to him as George. But George sent along some really nice, brand new, old stock grinding wheels for the Landis surface grinder. So, my surface grinder, the hub is, or the inside diameter is 3 inches. It'll take up to a 10-inch wheel, but of course smaller diameters work just fine. And let's see, these are 8 by 3 by, I guess that's probably 3/4. Yeah, so 3/4 inch thick. And this is a PA80 grid on this one. These are 8 by 1 by 3s, so 8-inch diameter, 1 inch thick, and 3-inch hub. And see, these are 32A80s. and sent some nice little thin wheels. Now these thin wheels, man, there are sometimes you just need a thin wheel for stuff. This is another nice one here, a 17A80, 8.5 by 1/4 inch thick with a 3-inch. And then also a couple of these, 8 by 1/4 inch by 3, a PA80 wheel. So anyway, nice selection here. Going to have some good inventory, some good stock. You know, guys, I'm really I'm in pretty good shape on grinding wheels now for my surface grinder, which is amazing because when it came, it had one wheel on it, and I've probably, you know, I don't know that I got every wheel I'll ever need because you never know what you're going to need until you need it. But I've got a really nice selection of wheels now to select from, and you guys out there have been really helpful in sourcing and finding some of these. So I'm going to put these over on my shelf, have them ready. In addition, George also sent along a book, and he warned me ahead of time, said the book is not in great condition, but it's a very interesting book here. It's called The Steam Engine by Professor Randke, and it's in such poor condition I really don't want to thumb around with it too much. I may end up having this rebound because this is just a really cool book. I don't know. It's got a date written in it, September 1900. And he told me a little bit. It's also the person that owned this book is Lee Lydecker from Maywood, New Jersey. And publication date on this is 1897. But and I don't remember exactly. He actually sent along a little biography on the Lydeckers. And Lee Lydecker actually was, I think he said he was an engineer among other things, but he was instrumental in designing, what did he say? It's not actually in this thing here, but it's something of significance. I think it had something to do with a fort. But anyway, you can probably Google Lee Lydecker, but evidently this was his copy of that, which makes it kind of neat. So anyway, I'm debating, you know, I'm not what you would consider a book collector in the fact, you know, in that, you know, that I would be worried about messing up this book from having it rebound. I'm more interested in having the knowledge that's in the book. So, and I have had several old copies of books rebound before, and this one may end up in that category. There's a really neat fold out in here that shows a cutaway view of a steam locomotive, and I'm not even going to pull it out because the book's just falling apart. But anyway, it's a really neat book, and I do appreciate it. So George, thanks a lot for sending along both the book and the grinding wheels. All this will be put to good use. Thank you. So this next one here is pretty cool, guys. If you remember, about a year ago, we got a whole bunch of Niagara tooling and Seco tooling from Dennis Noland. He sent it out to a bunch of different YouTube creators, and myself included. And Dennis was out at the Summer Bash, the Bardsley Summer Bash last year, which I think he's planning on being at again this year, as am I. But anyway, Dennis has got a YouTube channel. Dennis is actually a cutter engineer. He designs cutters for Niagara tools, so like end mills and things like that. Does some really neat things with his job, but he's also a hobby machinist, has a YouTube channel. I've got a link to his channel down here in the description down below that you can go to, and specifically to a video that kind of references this little Starrett box that he sent me. So a little bit of background. Dennis recently came into a pretty cool score of a bunch of tools and tooling at an auction, and I watched this video where he was going through all the different things. It was kind of funny because he pulled out this little tool right here, and I'll zoom you guys in here so you can see this, but this is basically a Starrett micrometer for measuring like a 3-sided piece. So something that has 3 sides, like a 3-sided cutter head, a 3-sided tap. Y'all remember? this here tap. In the recent video, I made a comment I didn't have a way to measure this thing because I didn't have the right kind of micrometer. Dennis saw that, and lo and behold, about that same week that he saw my video, he came across multiples of these in a auction. He had an extra one, so he sent this thing along with me. So this micrometer, like I said, it's made for doing a three-sided piece. So you put it down in here, and if you look, you know, it's touching on the three flutes of this tap, and then you can come in here. I'm gonna come in here a little bit down into the throat of it, and you can come down and actually touch off and get a actual measurement on this. So let's see what this actually measures, because we weren't able to get a decent measure on it. So it actually is measuring right at ½ inch, which is a ½ inch tap, so that's what you'd expect. So anyway, Dennis saw that I was needing one of these. He came across some in an auction, and he was kind enough to pack it up and send this really nice Starrett tool. I'm not sure, this is a number 483. I'm not sure what the actual name of this is. I'll look it up in my book and maybe try to put it down here so you guys can see it. But anyway, really cool. And Dennis, thank you for sending it. And again, I've got a video of his whole auction find that he got and all the different tools that he got. If you want to go take a look at that and keep track of Dennis on his YouTube channel as well, I got a link for that down below. So thanks a lot, Dennis. Greatly appreciate it. And I hope you're going to be out at the bash this year. We'll get a chance to see each other face to face. So I got another really nice actually set of items here from a gentleman, Jim Connor, who lives up in Michigan. He sent along some pretty cool stuff. In fact, if you remember my last odds and ends, I had a mystery oil can that someone sent me. Turns out that James is who sent that along. And in this batch, I got 2 more oil cans, and he sent me a note. Basically said, hey guys, you know, you need an oil can on every machine in the shop. So he sent me 3 now to go along with the ones I already have. And it's really kind of serendipitous, I guess, because I've been working on my surface grinder over here. And as I was working on the surface grinder, I was reading in the manual, okay, it took a special oil for the spindle. It's a pretty lightweight machine oil, and I didn't have any oil of that particular grade, so I had to order some oil. So I needed a oil can just for that oil, and also for the ways and everything. There's another oiler. There's actually 2 places to put oil in, and it takes yet another grade of oil. And I ordered about a gallon of that oil, so I'd have some on hand. So I need 2 oil cans just for the surface grinder. Ding, 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 ding. You took care of me. I got them right here. So, plus I got the one you sent in, and that was in the last one to use on some of my other machines. So, very, very well timing on that. It was not intended, but it worked out perfect. And James also sent along some other really cool stuff. You know, we had the optical center punch. I think I showed you already in this video that was sent in by another viewer. Well, he sent along one here. This one is made by I don't know how you say that, Vertius. It's a Canadian company, makes some really nice tools. I actually have several things made by these guys, but very similar to the other one that we showed. This one is a nice little brass piece, and it's got 2 pieces. So you got your little optical part that you put down in here. You know, the other one that we got, it has a dot in the center. This one actually has a crosshair. You look down through here, it kind of magnifies in there. You line this thing right up over your mark. You pull out your optical piece, and you insert your center punch into that same hole and pop. So you can really find a nice center with that. So this looks really, really nice. This is another nice one. And like I have said before, I need a set of tools here at the house, and also need a set of tools out at the museum. So getting 2 of these this week is going to be nice because I can actually have one in both locations. So anyway, that's really nice. And then it keeps getting better here, guys. Look here. He sent along a nice Aloris CXA wedge type tool holder that I can use over on the lathe. And I think I had made a comment. You know, I've got the 2 lathes. I got the LeBlanc and the Monarch here that both can use this CXA on. And I've got one for the LeBlanc that's on there now. This one I'll probably put on the Monarch once I get it going. But the one I have for the LeBlanc is the piston type. So it's got a little piston in here. When you do this, it pushes out a little piece. The wedge type is actually considered to be more accurate. You know, probably for running on a manual machine, it's not that big of a deal. On a CNC machine where you need repeatability, this is probably more important. But I prefer this wedge type over the piston type. So anyway, James had one of these. Send it along. This thing is in excellent shape, and this is actually a true Aloris. It's not one of the Chinese knockoffs. It actually says made in USA on here. You know, this is top of the line. So anyway, that's really nice. We keep on going. He sent along a Starrett number 98, 8-inch level. I think I had commented before. I had several sizes of these, and I'm not trying to be a collector, but anyway, there was a couple of sizes of these 98s I didn't have. He sent along an 8-inch as well as the little teeny tiny 4-inch one. And this one is just cute as a button. But it's really nice to have these different machinist levels and different sizes, because depending on where you're at, sometimes you need a little one. You don't have a lot of room. Sometimes you got a lot of room, and if you can use a longer one, it's really better. You get a more accurate reading, but sometimes you don't have room for a long one. And you know, I'd had some of the bigger ones. He sent along some of the smaller ones. So anyway, this is a really, really, really nice set of items that James sent along. And wow, I just don't even know what to say. I was flabbergasted when all this stuff came in. I mean, this is some really, really nice stuff. Everything you guys send in is nice, but really some nice stuff here. So thanks a lot, James. I do appreciate that. And all of this stuff will definitely find a good home. So here we go, another pretty cool little, this is a Craigslist find, and actually I wasn't the guy that found this, but I was alerted to it from a viewer of mine, a friend of mine, Forbes Matthews, who lives a couple hours north of me, and Forbes has become a very good friend. We actually talk on the phone quite a bit. He helps me out on some stuff, and I try to help him out on some stuff, what have you. He lives not too terribly far away. But Forbes saw up on a Craigslist ad up near the Atlanta area, where a guy had about 150 grinding wheels that he was selling and had a really good price on them. And he said, I don't need these things. He sent me a text message and gave me a call. He says, I don't need these things. Do you want them? I looked at the Craigslist ad and I'm like, yeah, there's some wheels in there that I can definitely use for my surface grinders, my other grinders in the shop. I could tell that there was definitely some good stuff in there. The price was right. He said, well, look, I'm actually driving over right down the road from this place, or not very far from this place. If you want them, I'll go by. If they're still available, I'll pick them up. I'll pay for them, and you can just come up and pick them up for me. So I went up a couple of days later and paid him and picked up all the booty, and it was literally near about a truckload of grinding wheels. Now, I posted this on my Facebook, and a bunch of these wheels have already gone out and found a new home. A lot of people said, hey, I'm looking for this, hey, I'm looking for that. And while, like I said, there was about 150, 160 wheels altogether. And there were quite a few in there that I needed, that I could use. And quite honestly, the ones that I got, it was worth what I paid for the whole lot just for those. But anyway, I got a bunch of stuff here that I really just don't have anything that it fits. So, part of this, guys, I'm telling you, if you're looking for any kind of a grinding wheel, send me an email. Don't send me a comment. Comments are not the way to communicate with me on something like this. Send me an email. Right down here's my email address, guys. But if you're looking for something, and I'm going to kind of show you a few of the things in here because there's some pretty cool stuff in here. I don't have a need for some of this stuff, but some of this stuff can be used, and I want to find a good home for it. So this is kind of more or less what's left after I pulled out my stuff, and some of the other stuff's already been pulled out. A few of these wheels are already spoken for. I just haven't packed them up and shipped them yet, but you kind of get an idea. I've got a lot of different sizes, a lot of different inside diameters. There's some 1/2 inch, some 5/8, some 3/4, 7/8, 1 inch, 1 1/4, and 2 inch inside diameter wheels here. So if any of that rings a bell of something you can use, holler at me, let me know. Now these are like 7-inch and smaller wheels with 1.25-inch hubs. Most of these, quite honestly guys, are spoken for. I think these two piles right here, I just haven't got them packed up. Now I do have a bunch of, this is 1.25-inch hub. These are also for surface grinders. Some of these are new old stock, never been used, but most of these are 8-inch. These are bigger than 7 inches, so a lot of these won't fit your the most common size surface grinder. But if you got one, will take an 8-inch wheel. You know, I got a bunch of stuff here. Here's some 1-inch stuff. I actually pulled these out for a gentleman, and he ended up deciding not to get them. But these are, I think, would fit like a tool post grinder with a 1-inch hub, and these are, I think, up 6 inches in diameter and smaller. So all those are 1-inch by 6 inch or smaller that would fit again, a tool post grinder. So anyway, there's a lot of different stuff here. There's some cup wheels here. I think that's got a 5/8 hub in it. These are all new old stocks. There's some stuff here. These have got 1.25 inch. These would probably fit like a bench grinder if you got the right thing. So these are about 8.5, 9 inches in diameter. That one's about 8 inches. That one's between 8 and 9 inches. Has 1.25 inch hub, and I think, let's see, that's 1.5 inches thick, and those are 2 inches thick. So, you know, if you got something that those will fit on, those will be some good ones. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of just stuff in here. Now, these are 1.25 inch cup wheels, 1.25 inch hub. I think 4-inch, 4-inch on the large side, 3-inch on the small side, and it's 1.25 inch thick. These would probably fit on a standard surface grinder. They're white wheels. These are actually new old stock, but they're dirty. They've just been sitting in the shop and gotten dirty. But don't be worried about that black on there. There's nothing wrong with it. These are, what are these? I don't see a grid, a 46J. I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but I got a whole stack of these. These wheels back here in the back, let me walk around here. These are some really nice wheels here. These pink wheels, these are brand spanking new old stock. I don't think any of these have been used. These have a 2-inch inside diameter. These are 8-inch diameter here. I think these are 7-inch diameters on these. Some of these are 1-inch thick. I think these are 1-inch thick, and these are 3/4 inch thick. Now, on these 1-inchers though, the actual inside diameter in here is 3/4. It's recessed in. So if you will only take a 3/4 inch thickness, you got a little step in here, so you can actually put a 1-inch wheel on there. Again, these are brand spanking new old stock. These would be great if someone's got a machine they'll fit. And there's some 2-inch diameter cup wheels here. Again, these are 2-inch inside diameter, 4-inch outside diameter. So anyway, there's just a bunch of stuff here. These are some more cup wheels back here. What is that? 7-inch diameter, 2 inches wide there, and it looks like it's probably 3/4 on the inside. Yeah. And you know, it looks like about a 5/8, but it's like a threaded stud in there. So yeah, 7x2 by 5/8, but it looks like it's threaded. These would probably go up on an arbor that's not threaded, but it is kind of threaded in there as well. I don't know what those might go on, but and then I got a bunch of these thin wheels here. These are, well, there's a bunch of different stuff in here. I think that's a 250 millimeter or a 60 millimeter, I guess, hub on that one. 225 by 5 by 60 millimeter. Here's some thin ones here. What are these? That's 1.25 inch inside diameter. I don't see this without. It's 10-inch diameter. There's some more of those. Those are some really nice wheels if someone's got something that they'll fit. And then here's some white wheels, same thing, 1.25 inch, 10-inch outside diameter. Here's some more of those 225 by 5 by 60 millimeters. So anyway, just a whole bunch of different size wheels here. I've got a couple of these back here. These have a what was that, 5-inch inside diameter? Yeah, 5-inch inside diameter, a little under 11 inches outside diameter, and 1 inch thick. I got a couple of those if somebody's got something that'll fit. Anyway, a lot of different things. So here's what I want to do on the grinding wheels, guys. If you're interested in anything, again, send me an email down here. No comments on this. Send me an email. It's going to be first come, first served on the emails. If you know, as far as looking for something, let me know what inside diameter you need, what outside diameter or smaller that you can use, and what, you know, maximum thickness, maximum outside diameter, and then inside diameters. And remember, you can put bushings on these inside diameters to bush them down to whatever size you need. So if it's a larger one, you can make it fit a smaller hole. You really can't make a smaller hole fit a larger one without boring it out. But anyway, let me know what sizes you're looking for. I'll let you know what I got. What I'm generally been doing, and I've sold a bunch of these already on Craigslist, on Facebook, but I've just been saying it's $10 a wheel. I don't care, big, small, whatever. You know, if you buy a bunch of them, you know, we can work out a better deal. You know, maybe on something I'll cut you a deal if you buy a whole bunch of them, and then you pay for the shipping. And on bigger orders, you know, again, we'll talk about shipping. But anyway, just let me know if anybody's interested in anything. I don't have a need for all these. They need to find a good home. You know, I want to get something back out of them to kind of, because I got an investment in these, and I want to get something back out of them. So anyway, if you're looking for something, just let me know, and we'll go from there. And hopefully we can find a home for some of these wheels. So anyway, let me know. All right, shop update time. Again, we spent this past Saturday. I didn't have all day, but I did have some help, so we were able to get some work done. I got the rest of my wainscoting up in here with the tin. Again, I'm real happy with how that turned out looking. I also point out back here the LeBlanc lathe. I ended up moving it down from where it was at a little bit. It was just over too far. Once I got everything kind of set up in here, I wanted to move it down, which means I got to go back in here and re-level everything, but hey, no big deal. Also put me a shelf over in this corner to give me some more storage. So that was part of the reason why I moved it down, was make room for that shelving unit back there to give me some more storage space in here. But the shop is really starting to come along. Several of you guys have commented on my blinds over here. I've had some problems where in the afternoons when I'm out here filming, I get some direct sunlight in these windows, so I had to put up a temporary blind. I've got some actual blinds bought to put up on them, but I haven't had time to actually install them yet. So anyway, hopefully soon that'll get improved. Did some more trim work and whatever in here, just kind of finishing things up, and probably at least part of this coming weekend. Still got a few things going on there. We got another scraping class coming up here in about it's less than 2 weeks now. So I'm trying to get some things finished before we have the class come in. So that's what I've been kind of focusing on. The good news is on the shop is I'm getting really, really close to pretty much having the machine shop side pretty well finished out as far as the work to the shop itself. You know, yeah, I've still got to do my electrical, run some 3-phase power over on here, but as far as, you know, trim work, molding, wainscoting, just the little things that, you know, sometimes aren't very high on the list because it's just more for decorative purpose. I'm really trying to get focused and get that stuff done so that we can kind of move on and get on some machine restorations. My surface grinder, I mentioned at the beginning, I've still got to get my magnetic chuck mounted on that. And, you know, I'm hoping this weekend I can get that done as well. Going to have to grind the chuck and do some stuff with it. That'll be a video coming up, and if I have time this weekend, hopefully, like I said, I can get some work done on that because I'm really wanting to get it knocked out. Just didn't get a chance to get out here in the evenings this past week and do anything. But the shop's coming along great. Got some awesome viewer mail. Everything's really going good for me. It's a busy time of year. It's really cutting into my shop time, but we're hopefully going to get past that hump here pretty soon. Do want to mention Bardsley Summer Bash coming up toward the end of June. You know, I put the dates down here. I don't remember the exact dates off the top of my head, But going to be out in Rancho Cucamonga again this year. Stan Zinkosky at Barzy Industrial is hosting that once again. And I'll put a link down in the description to Stan's YouTube channel. If you're interested in going, a lot of the YouTube creators are going to be out there. Myself, Adam Booth, Keith Fenner, James Kilroy, I think, is coming. Jim Bollinger's coming. Man, I'm gonna get in trouble trying to name all these names because I'm gonna miss some of them. Tom Lipton will be there. Outside Screwball will be there. There's a bunch of different guys planning on being there. So if you want to make a trip out to there, go visit Stan's site. There is a registration process, so you need to go take a look at that. But I am planning to be out there and really looking forward. You know, it's been the third year I've gone out to the Barzy Bash, and it's really a great opportunity to get to meet a lot of my viewers face to face. And that's what I really enjoy about that. So anyway, that's another good opportunity coming up. So check out Barzy's channel if you're interested in doing that. And with that, I think that'll be a wrap on this video. So again, hope to get out here and get some work done in the shop this coming week or so. We got plenty of things to do, plenty of projects to work on. Just need time. Just need time. That's been my problem here lately. We'll talk to you guys later.